One, step two, get some good, some food in you. Step three, think real hard about what you wanna be. Step four, everybody just do your thing.
Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Yo. Set your affirmations, aspirations. I got shit to do, the aftermath of preparation. Good food, good mood, blood in circulation. One step at a time, yeah, that's how you make it. Set a goal you control and the steps you take them. I try to pick one thought, have some concentration. And if I make a mistake, it's called education. I try to do this every day, call it replication. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 So life ain't easy, yo, I think there's a reason though. Ups and downs, just like every different season, yo. Sometimes I'm high, other times I'm barely breathing, though. I always gotta fight and hide from the demons, yo. Negative thoughts are poison, they rot. Head full of flies, so here come the clouds. They'll never stop unless I can swap all the bad for the good in my head when I'm lost. Yeah, so I'ma fake it till I make it. Positive thoughts are overtaken, I got patience. One day at a time is how you operate a cadence. A flow, you grow, you show yourself a foundation. Stay away from all the shit that causes temptation. I know that I like to do it cause it's sensation. I live my life in my head like a narration. Don't expect greatness, do my best, man, I'll take it. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Wake up, today's gonna be a good day.
Wake up, really gon' rise to the sun. Step two, get some good, some food in you. Step three, think real hard about what you wanna be. Step four, everybody just do your thing.
I'm gonna say this loud enough for the people in the back. You know when your life's gonna change? When you stop running back to the things that God is trying to save you from. When you stop pressing rewind on the things that need to be deleted from your life. When you stop hanging on to the things that you know you need to let go of. Let me tell you this, moving on isn't always about knowing where you're going. It's about knowing where you're no longer stand and what you refuse to go back to. Straight up.
Welcome to the Bullhorn Betty Coffee Club.
As you wake up in the morning, you want to find the latest, greatest information about criminal cases and have an intuitive conversation about the suspects associated with these cases. Head over to the Bullhorn Betty channel on YouTube. Get breaking news right here on the Bullhorn Betty channel. Welcome to the Bullhorn Betty Coffee Club. Enjoy your stay and enjoy your day.
Well, hello, my beautiful weekend crew. Yes, I am live and in color on a Sunday nonetheless. But it's because I've been sitting on this story for a couple days and I'm like, this is not a Monday story. This is a Sunday story. And so I was getting ready to prepare a video, and I'm thinking it's going to take me just as long to prepare this in a video format as it will be to come live and hang out with you guys. seriously, it would take me probably longer to prepare the video. So I decided to come hang out with you guys. I decided to come hang out with you. So it is a great day. It is a great day. Beautiful Sunday. Went to church with many of the crew here on the Coffee Club. We typically don't run live. We at least haven't ran live for a weekend in some time, and especially not on a Sunday. But this case takes the cake. You want to talk about legit police corruption? Holy smokes. I am like dying over here wondering how I didn't hear about this stuff earlier. We have got to get into this. But before we do, I want to tell everybody happy real Independence Day. Real Independence Day. And you're saying, what? What do you mean the real Independence Day? Because it was the Lee. It was the Lee resolution or the Lee Act that ended up giving us our independence. It was signed today. It was signed today. And 2 days later, we had our Declaration of Independence, which we all now celebrate. But it really was today that gave us that independence. So just a big shout out to our history buffs. I just wanted to let you know I did do my homework. So good afternoon, ZA. It's nice to see you, followed by Alabama mom of 4, cool gamer, Colette in the house, just an old lady. Pebbles, it's nice to see you, Brandy. Nana of 12, been a while. Is your hair still intact? I'm just joking. Pebbles, let's see, Hash Brown, nice to see you. Julie. Mary in the DAX. in the DAX. You guys are so clever with some of your stuff. But we also have other news. This is all the news that we're not able to talk about during the week, but you guys are going to want to sit, and don't worry, for all the people that are short on time, I'm going to get through, saying hi to a few people, and we're going to dive right into the corruption, because you are not going to believe that. And not only that, but just looking at the last week, there's a lot. It makes me question humanity doing the job that I do. It really does. It's just all over the place, widespread, everywhere. It's awful. It's awful. It really is. Angie, nice to see you. PB&J, great to have you in the house. Michelle, Hindsight 2020. Lulu's Nana, nice to see you. Sec2 number 1. C. Earls, it's nice to see you. Ruby, good afternoon. Tammy, nice to see you all. I am Teen Summer. May, and I think I got everybody. If I missed you, Wide Blanket, hello. But before we get really into this is something I saw that just scared the crap out of me. If you guys have not heard, I know I have some audience members that are from Canada. I don't know what part of Canada you are from. But big shout out to you guys. Massive tornadoes. Here is one that came in, and I'm telling you, it shakes me to my core to see this. And I think everybody needs to. Like, this is some, pretty extensive stuff here. I mean, seriously. Just Mother Nature, you know what I'm saying? Mother Nature, just craziness out there. And it's just, I saw this, and I was watching it, and a couple different people had recorded it from different sides. I mean, this thing was massive. So I'm sure a lot of people from different sides of this massive, weatherfront, I guess, right? But this apparently is not common in Canada. They do have tornadoes. I mean, we're not saying that. It's just this large, huge, massive tornado is from what I'm hearing. They do have tornadoes. That's not uncommon. It was the size of this particular one that was so uncommon from my understanding. Now, people that live in Canada would know better than I. This is just reports that I'm reading from here, which we know. You just never know. You never know whether it's legit, but people from Canada would know. I just want to show you that looked pretty freaking big. That looked pretty freaking scary, if you ask me. Not something I would be personally filming. I don't know. Let's be honest. I'd probably be the dumbass that was out there filming. Right? Don't put it past me, right? Let's not lie. I can't lie to my audience. You're right. I'd probably be that person out there. It's Sunday, so I apologize for cussing. I did not mean to cuss. I've been actually working on my swear words quite well, and that has slipped. I haven't done that in a while, I don't think. At least if I have, I don't remember, and that's a good thing. If I don't remember, it doesn't count. Remember that. If I don't remember, it doesn't count. So I'm just going to go ahead and dive right into this story. This story, guys, I'm telling you, you are not going to believe it. And why am I just now hearing about this is the question. Why am I just now? I have no idea why I'm just now hearing about this. I really don't. This is an investigation that's been going on. Apparently news outlets have been monitoring this and knew about this letter that happened back in February. This was an anonymous letter that went to major politicians in West Virginia that blew the top right off of this entire corruption inside the West Virginia State Police. I am absolutely correct. Inside the state police. This is not backwoods of West Virginia in one of the, small little police departments. Okay, this is not that. This is the state police. Major cover-up. You're talking about kidnapping. You're talking about fights, hidden cameras, being sued because they had, listen to this, had cameras in the women's locker room watching them. Well, they had some students. Yes. Students come in for training and had to dress out. And guess what? These underage kids are caught on those cameras. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. But this is by far some of the worst that I have seen and read. Now, is it hyped up? When we're dealing with news, you do have that element of, this being hyped up, but I can't imagine this being hyped up like that because you've got teens, you've got underage people suing the West Virginia State Police. You've got women suing the West Virginia State Police like this. And not only that, but the cover up that went behind it. This is insane. And it's almost something out of a movie. It really is. It's something almost out of a movie. Let me just read this article. Let me throw this up here for you guys. And I'm going to read it to you guys while we're going through this. And in the highlighted portion, I highlighted before we came on because this is part of, the major part. So it said a slew of investigations have opened up against the West Virginia State Police Department after startling claims surfaced in recent months, including alleged hidden cameras in the women's lockers, casino thefts, cover-up, kidnappings, druggings, and SA. Okay? The investigations were initiated after an anonymous 5-page letter was sent to multiple state lawmakers. So we have a whistleblower that saw this and decided finally to put an end to this. The contents of the letter, which were then covered by local media outlets, consisted of multiple damning claims. Those claims triggered leadership changes across the department, as well as sweeping investigation into West Virginia State Police. In February, local reports emerged of a letter that was sent to a handful of states' highest-ranking politicians, including the governor, Jim Justice, the Attorney General, Patrick Morphew, if I'm saying the name right. The letter's allegations ranged from misuse of state and federal dollars, office affairs, illegal overtime practices, drunken fights, hidden camera, and SA. That's not all, folks. Stick with it. The more we dug, the worse it stunk, Justice said about the allegations in March. He subsequently ordered the state's Department of Homeland Security, as well as the interim superintendent of West Virginia State Police, Jack Chambers, to launch a multi-pronged investigation into alleged wrongdoings. One of the most disturbing claims involves at least one alleged hidden camera that was placed in the women's locker room in West Virginia State Police Academy. The Academy. On March 23rd, attorney Teresa Torres, I can't pronounce her name, Torres Eva, I don't know, filed the first of 4 notices of legal action to Morrissey and Chambers, who replaced former Superintendent Jan Cahill after his resignation in March. 2 retired West Virginia State Police uniformed employees and a civilian who regularly used the women's locker room throughout their career and their retirements intend to sue West Virginia State Police after media reported on allegations of hidden cameras, according to the letter reviewed by The Guardian. On June 16th, in her 4th and final notice of legal action, the attorney revealed that her law firm has gone from representing 3 women to 67, all of whom will be filing claims against West Virginia State Police for creating a toxic and hostile work environment. In addition to the dozen of women who attended or visited the academy from 1994 to present day, there were at least 10 minors, probably between the ages of 14 and 17, who were a part of the state's junior troop academy and used the locker room, the letter said. During their time at the academy, while under the supervision of West Virginia State Police employees, several of these women were subjected to varying levels of physical and emotional abuse and were most likely videotaped on camera, now known to have been hidden on your premises. One letter reads, all of these women were victim of civil conspiracy perpetrated by instructors, staff, and leadership at West Virginia State Police Academy. The attorney says the investigation by her firm suggests that the cameras could have been placed as early as 1998 and continued recording until 2018. 20 years, guys. Let that sink in. 20 years of many women being violated without their knowledge. How humiliating. How humiliating. She also anticipates filing spoliation of evidence as Governor Justice confirmed that footage from the hidden cameras has been deliberately destroyed. In a public address in March, the governor said that the employee behind the hidden camera has died and that 3 troopers later found the thumb drive. From that, they found the video, he said, adding that at least one of them immediately jerked the thumb drive out and threw it on the floor and started stomping on it. Now we've got law enforcement officers destroying evidence, he said, as he ordered all-out investigation into the matter. Another claim that surfaced in recent months is alleged money theft at the casino by off-duty state police captain, according to another anonymous letter reported. The alleged incident, which was caught on surveillance camera in May 2021 at a casino in Cross Lanes, West Virginia, revolves around a captain who has since retired after being confronted about the incident. The letter states that the appointee of Colonel Jan Cahill was caught on camera stealing an envelope of money after another man left it at the slot machine, according to the outlet. It also alleges that West Virginia State Police covered up the incident with no charges were filed. A report filed in March by the state's Homeland Security Department appears to confirm the incident. According to news outlets that reviewed the report, it details a security manager's interaction with a customer who informed the casino he had lost an envelope which contained at least $500. The man told the security manager that he left it at the slot machine to get a drink from the vending machine and that he left the envelope behind. Surveillance footage revealed another man picked up the envelope and exited the casino, driving away in a truck. Casino security identified the vehicle license plate number and forwarded the details to state police. There's no way to look at this other than this is just the trooper picked it up and took the money. Governor Justice added details of the incident emerged. Basically, any way you cut it, the money was stolen. Disturbing allegations of R have also surrounded the West Virginia State Police. At least 2 lawsuits have been filed against the agency as of May. 2 women, both represented by attorney Dante DiTrepano, if I'm saying it right, have accused Trooper Michael Miller of kidnapping an R. In a notice of legal action to the state police published by West Virginia Public Broadcasting in March, the attorney revealed a handful of grisly allegations on behalf of one of his clients. The unnamed woman accused Miller of drugging, kidnapping, and brutally R-ing her on the evening of December 17th, the early morning of December 18th of 2021. The letter claims that Miller, while flashing his badge around the American Legion Post 19 in Logan, West Virginia, changed my client's life forever. It states the woman woke up naked and she was in, I don't want to finish that conversation, but I will enlarge it for you so you guys can read it right there. So again, just not really wanting to read that out loud. Before going into further horrifying allegations, after hearing her earrings were ripped out of her ears, her hair was pulled out, her teeth were damaged. She had been repeatedly R-ed in every way you could possibly imagine. This is all confirmed by the R unit at the emergency department. The Women's and Children's Hospital in Charleston, West Virginia, the later said, adding that Miller allegedly sent a Facebook message to the woman the morning after the incident asking if he had left his hat in her car. The letter describes the woman as the loving mother of 5 beautiful children and a grandchild who now cannot ever go back to work and is suffering from PTSD and is in intense treatment and counseling in connection with the physical, mental, emotional, and psychological injuries visited upon her by Miller. It added that the incident had been reported to the FBI. Shortly after the first notice of legal action, the attorney filed another letter to West Virginia State Police in April alleging similar actions against Miller on behalf of another unnamed woman. According to the letter reviewed by West Virginia Record, on the evening of July 9th, the morning and into the morning of July 10th, 2021, Miller also drugged, kidnapped, and R-ed a woman while repeatedly telling her that he was a trooper. In an interview with Metro News, the attorney said that Miller was in a bar in Logan County where he flashed his badge around the woman, telling her that she needed to come with him after he allegedly drugged her drink. He then allegedly took her inside his truck alongside 2 other men and SA'd her. The letter goes on to accuse Miller of driving to another club where the naked woman managed to leave the vehicle with her belongings and clothes. Wow. And guys, this is what true police corruption looks like. This is one of the most horrific cases that I've read so far, the most horrific so far. The attorney claims that the woman tried to report the alleged incident to a friend who was a sheriff deputy in Logan. The information she got back from Logan County deputy was, do not screw with the Brotherhood, which is basically what you do here a lot of the times when you're dealing with law enforcement. Unfortunately, it is true. The West Virginia State Police confirmed that the FBI was investigating allegations against current employees and an internal investigation would follow. The multiple investigation ongoing and legal actions being taken against the state police and 5-page anonymous letters origin appears to have stirred up their own controversy in recent months. The whistleblower behind the letter has since come forward with attorney Dave Moy, identifying his client as Joseph Comer, a police corporal. After the letter was distributed, Comer was arrested for domestic battery and felony strangulation and was subsequently placed on administrative leave, a move which his attorney regards as retaliation by the state police. It does sound like that, doesn't it? On February 23rd, a day before Comer was scheduled to have a grievance hearing about his concern about the West Virginia State Police, a criminal complaint was filed against him, alleging that he had strangled a woman on December 5th, 2022, during a scheduled custody exchange. According to the criminal complaint, Comer left bruises on the woman's neck. In another criminal complaint, Comer was accused of striking a woman in the head with a sippy cup on December 12, 2022, at the same location of the alleged strangling. He revealed several of the things to Major James Findlay, who was the head of internal affairs, hoping to get it investigated, but instead Major Findlay investigated it. He turned around and pretty much placed a target on my client's back, Corporal Comer, and started to discipline him, demote him. Wow. Ostracized him for being the whistleblower. He shouldn't have came forward. He should have just kept quiet. That's why we have whistleblower laws. But I'm pretty sure by the time he's done, he's going to have a nice lawsuit, nice settlement out of all of this as well. They started investigating him rather than investigating the complaint that he made. A series of internal emails among the West Virginia Police Department's high-ranking members as they strategized Comer's arrest. On February 24th, Sergeant K.W. Huddleston emailed Findlay, who has since been transferred from the Director of Professional Standards Division to a first lieutenant slot, and wrote, we maybe need to start thinking about having something in place tomorrow if he shows up. Yes, he be here at 9 o'clock. I'll be here. I can pull him and his attorney and have it taken care of. Place on administrative leave. Will serve the DVP and then do a warrant after everything is secure, Findlay replied, appearing to refer to domestic violence protection notice. Timing of this horrible, he added, to which Huddleston responded, yes, optics will suck, but it is what it is. The sweeping investigations against the entire West Virginia State Police have raised questions surrounding the state's policing culture. When there's been public outcry, when there's been questions raised, the police are very, very quick to circle ranks and always claim that their actions were justified and necessary. We see this regularly here in West Virginia. ACLU West Virginia Advocate Director Eli Baumwell said, the advocates like Baumwell are policing overhaul requires several steps, including rethinking the transparency and accountability measures that often protect officers who commit acts of wrongdoing. One of the other things that we run into all the time is that they would use a loophole of an open investigation being exempt from withholding any internal records about any potential misconduct. They'll say it's under investigation, and they will hold it under investigation for, in some cases, years. That is a huge problem in terms of providing transparency, Baumwell said. He continued, police lean very heavily on civil service protections that we want people to have. We want everyone to get due process, especially if their livelihood is on the line, but they lean so heavily on protections that it makes it virtually impossible to actually discipline an officer, even when wrongdoing has been found and confirmed, Baumwell added. They need to actually have true oversight, true accountability, because that's not here. And that's one of the major things killing our trust. So a really good article about this. Again, this is, you know, one of the worst allegations of criminal misconduct from, you know, this, you hear about like the one person in law enforcement in a particular that did wrongdoing. This is a whole network of people. This is corruption at its best. They are drugging people, kidnapping people, R-ing people, shoving it all under the rug. They're stealing money from the state. They're stealing money from the federal government. They're planting, you know, cameras in the women's locker room at the academy. And it's been there for 20 stinking years. And they're trying to act like only one man had access to it and he recently died. Give me a break. How easy is that for a scapegoat, right? And if that was the case, again, why are other law enforcement agents dropping it on the floor and stomping on it with their foot? Any person that wasn't emotionally involved in that or wasn't worried about being caught up in it would have turned it over as evidence, especially since it belonged to a dead man. Worst I've seen. Seriously, worst I've seen in a really, really long time. And I don't know how this has managed to go under the radar. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm surprised that we here on YouTube haven't heard about this. Like, this is huge in my opinion. You got a whole state police system filled with crime and corruption. Like, how is this not making major headlines and news across the country? Like, you know, let it be Bullhorn Betty. Right? Then be let it be the state police in West Virginia and you hear crickets. What do you hear? Oh, nothing. So they're talking about the lawsuits being filed, and I'm just reading through this because I have another article up, and it, you know, a lot of these things have a lot of the same information, and I just want to see if there's something different in it. There was not a whole bunch. So we got the Guardian had the most the article with the most meat to the bone. So there's a lot of other stuff that I wanted to talk to you guys about that's just crazy to me. Crazy. Did you guys hear? We haven't followed, you know, this Morphew's case. You know, I haven't really. I know about it. I know that it's not good. I know the husband is most likely involved. I know he was arrested. Then they had to drop the case and dropped it without prejudice. That means they can bring it again. Well, did you guys, if you guys follow that case, which I really haven't followed it other than that, just having the general facts. As I was doing some research over this weekend, I found out that they actually have been hinting around that they know where Suzanne's body is. That's right. They said that Suzanne's body's in a difficult place, but it sounds like they know exactly where Suzanne's body is. So I just thought that was really interesting. I know that I have a lot of true crime junkies in my, you know, on my channel and in my chat. So I know many of you are following this case and wanted to give you that update in case it was missed, because I didn't hear any updates from, you know, but I don't really watch a lot of social media myself, believe it or not, because I'm always working. I don't have time. If I have time to watch a video, I have time to do some research. That's just how I feel. But Suzanne Morphew, this is what it basically says. Missing Colorado woman Suzanne Morphew's body is apparently located in a very difficult spot. Prosecutors revealed last week. So it sounds like they have at least an idea of where she's at. This is going to be good. Once they find her, they can truly go after her husband. And again, it's this was a really, sad case, to say the least. And just a lot of I'm just going to pull this up. A lot of odds and ends in the news that I just want to make sure that we touch on. Again, this is I do have other stuff going on with the Koberger case, but we're going to be going over that first thing tomorrow morning on the Coffee Club. So if you guys don't realize, we do a coffee club. We do a coffee club here Monday through Friday from 6:30 to 8:30, but it is summer months and people aren't getting up as early as they usually are. So we start anywhere between 6:30 and 7:30. Okay, it kind of depends on how Bullhorn Betty's feeling. Okay. So here's another one. This is a really weird case. Again, you step away for a little bit, where we've been studying all of this Brian Koberger stuff. And then I'm like, I just want to see what else is going on out there. What else am I missing? I want to make sure that my audience has updates on all their crime news they can possibly have. So I'm out here just kind of looking around, seeing what's out there. And golly, there's a lot. It's sad. It's literally depressing seeing how much stuff is out there. My back's feeling so much better. Thank you, Lady 7-Up. It still is giving, every now and again, I'll still twist like just wrong and it'll let me know it's there, but it's not like I can sit up and sit down. That was the problem I was having. It was so painful to get up and get down, get up and down, and I just, it was just bad. But it's feeling much better. I feel it's not fully healed yet. I'm not ready to go out there and start getting back to the fence. But maybe in a couple more weeks. I thought it was going to be gone in like a day or two, but when it lasted almost 2 weeks, I realized I probably don't need to aggravate it for a while. So I'm going to give it a couple more weeks before I get out there and finish up the backyard, which kind of sucks because I was really excited about getting the backyard because I actually want to take some of the coffee club, I'd like to take you guys in the backyard. So we have a nice little fresh scenery, we're going to be having spring and winter coming up soon and fall. It's going to be beautiful. And I just, maybe being in the house and then in this office isn't, the best scenery. Get out and get some fresh air, right? Get out and get some fresh air. So as I was going through it, I'm getting here. Not only that, this one was crazy. This man does these horrible things and then tries to off this kid with Bitcoin. And this is a man from New Jersey who exchanged, explicit type of, with a young teenage adolescent boy. And then he turned around and tried to pay for somebody because he was getting in trouble for it. And so he decides he's going to pay somebody with Bitcoin nonetheless to go and take care of this 13-year-old kid. If you guys haven't seen this, you might want to check it out on People Magazine. That's people.com. Another people.com story, weird. An Alabama woman vanishes nearly 10 years ago, and then now a woman is accused of pushing her off a cliff. Right? I mean, I'm making light of this. It's not a funny matter. I mean, this woman is gone, right? But you hear about this stuff, like she was pushed off a cliff. I mean, you think, you joke about that kind of stuff, right? But it's serious. It's serious. And 2 years it took for them. And so this Alabama woman is behind bars after allegedly kidnapping and pushing a woman off a cliff nearly 2 years ago. Loretta K. Carr, 43, was arrested Sunday on capital murder charges in connection with the death of Mary Elizabeth Isabel Wright, according to court records cited by local news outlets. The 37-year-old was reported missing back in January 2022. She was reported last seen driving a dark-colored Jeep. Hartselle police said on a Facebook that Wright vanished in November 2021 and was known to live in DeKalb County, Alabama. According to a criminal complaint obtained by the local news organization out there, Carr is accused of kidnapping Isabel in October 2021 and intentionally causing her death by pushing her off a cliff. Carr is being held and DeKalb County Jail without bond. According to records obtained by local media, Carr's attorney has requested a preliminary hearing after claiming prosecutors don't have enough evidence to charge their client with capital murder. Authorities have not released any other information about the case, according to, including Carr was allegedly tied, how Carr was allegedly tied to the crime, and how the two women crossed paths. So this will be kind of an interesting case. It's the first I've heard of it. And but when I heard of it, it kind of catches your attention, like pushes off a cliff. It makes you wonder, is this a love triangle? But again, another case that I really haven't heard a lot about that's pretty intriguing. Pretty intriguing. And I don't know how many of you remember this particular case. This was a case that JLR was covering more so than I. We brought it up on the channel, but we didn't really cover it because JLR was actually out there in person and actually spoke with some of the neighbors there that talked about this lady that shot this Black woman, right? So apparently this lady is a racist. She's said a lot of explicit things to the children, to the other people in and around the area. It sounds like she recently had purchased a gun. She had recently researched the Stand Your Ground law. And then she cultivated an event in an effort so she could stand her ground, i.e. killing this Black woman in front of her young child. And she was arrested, rightfully so. And to me, this sounds like first-degree murder. I believe that she intentionally cultivated this argument. But again, it's not about what you know; it's about what you can prove in a court of law. And I don't think that they can prove the intent, short of finding some information or somebody coming forward with a conversation that they had with this woman. They're not going to have that element necessary to get that first-degree murder charge, even though I truly believe this woman planned this out, and this should be considered a hate crime. A hate crime. I believe this is a hate crime. This is making me very, very upset. So she's not being charged with murder, but she is being charged with manslaughter. And I'm sorry, to me, that is falling short. This is manslaughter charge is not giving that woman justice. It's not giving her family justice. It's not giving her poor son that was standing next to her when she was shot dead because that lady decided to throw a skate at her son, and the woman wanted to know what the hell that woman was doing. Any of us would have wanted to do that. Any of us would have gotten angry and would have went there, right? I know if it was my grandchild, I would have. I remember when the house across the street from me was a dilapidated shack that was falling in, and I saw the kids from down the road going in and going inside there, knowing that it was dangerous. And I went out there and started yelling at the kids, and I told them they needed to get off that property and get home. And they wanted to cuss me a beat. And like I told them, you go get your mama and bring her on down here if you want to cuss me a bee again. Or I will go knock on that door. Get your butts on home. Right? Get your butts on home. They didn't send their mama down here. All right? I'm sure their mama was a lot meaner than me. All right? Mama hears those kids are out there and almost hurt, right? Mama doesn't want medical bills, right? Mama doesn't want medical bills. Mamas are happy for people like me, right? Keeping their kids safe. Lordy, Lordy. But this woman, you know, we watched it, and again, it just breaks my heart. But again, just some more information as we're going through. Again, some crazy news. Lots of ugly in this world. Lots of ugly. Kansas man charged in his daughter's death has previous domestic violence related cases. This is a case where this child was failed yet again, right? We hear about all these cases of failed kids. That means that the Department of Children and Family Services have learned that there are some things going on in the home and that child needs to be taken out. Yet the red tape by the time they're able to get there, the kid's gone. The kid's gone, like dead. Not disappeared like Summer Wells, which I still believe. Well, so this one's a Wichita man. He was charged in the death of his daughter. Has a history of domestic violence. According to the court reports, he was also investigated but not charged in the child's deaths in Minneapolis. And this is Thomas Ross Gatewood, 51, has been charged with 11 counts, including first-degree murder in the death of his daughter, Janetta Gatewood, according to the records. Gatewood and his wife were investigated in June 2006, a death of an infant. So they had another child already die in their care. An infant died in their care in 2006, but no charges were filed. Police have released few details about his daughter's death in May. Court records allege that Gatewood tortured, beat, and kicked. So, there are just, and these are telltale signs, like, and this comes back, and I know I've gotten off of my national database, but this national database, it's stuff like this that it would have prevented, right? It's stuff like this that national database would have prevented, because as soon as they had another kid, as soon as their names, their social security, their driver's license is associated with a birth certificate, it would have triggered a notice to the services. Since they already had a child deceased in their care previously, it would have triggered a contact call with the parents. Just, there's so much in this day and age, 2023, we should have the best technology of tracking our kids that are in the system. It's pretty shameful, in my opinion, that we have better logistics at a landfill than we do in our Department of Children and Family Services. I'm sorry. That should not be the case. This is 2023, and we have not had a true overhaul of our child welfare system since 1969. I'm just saying, all that money they're shipping overseas could do a lot to help our children right here in this country. It could do a lot to impact this system. It really could. It really could. And it's a shame. It's a shame. Oh, forgot the good news. The good news in DNA, right? We're always talking about DNA, the benefits of it. We have that investigative genetic genealogy testing that is coming under fire in the Brian Koberger case. And then boom, 1984 killing. We found a man in California that killed a woman right here in Florida. And he was on America's Most Wanted. And due to DNA, and most likely this investigative genealogy, watch, you're going to find out. This investigative genealogy did what? It solved a case here in Florida. This man is now extradited back to the state of Florida from California. So we are very pleased to accept this disgusting man back into our state so he can be held accountable for his actions. And let me tell you something about the state of Florida. We don't play. We don't play. And we definitely don't play with killers. So I'm hoping that they've been able to preserve all of the evidence. Again, 1984, you're talking about a 30-something-year-old cold case that has now been solved while the use of DNA evidence. And here is just, if I can, here it is. We're going to play this. Probably have a commercial. But there he is coming in. Where's the film? Oh, I thought they had the video on this one. Oh, it might be this one. I think it might be this one. There it is.
For the killing of Cynthia Wood. After all these years.
Let me see if I can start that over. Sorry, guys. There he is.
Tonight, the long arm of the law finally catching up to a murder suspect on the run for nearly 4 decades. 65-year-old Donald Santini appeared several times on the TV show America's Most Wanted. Now, authorities say he's in jail and facing a first-degree murder charge for the killing of Cynthia Wood. After all these years, U.S. Marshals were able to arrest Santini in San Diego County, where he was living under an alias and on a local water board, often appearing at public meetings, according to the AP.
Sounds like an advocate, an activist, a community activist, right? But there he is, coming back from California. Kudos to the law enforcement. Finally, some justice for his victim's family. You know, this has been a long time coming for them. DNA has really changed a lot when it comes to crime, when it comes to crime solving, because it's something that we always leave behind. I mean, I walk around here, you know, I've got long hair, right? There is nothing that there is not a sweep in this house that doesn't have my hair in the broom, doesn't have my hair wrapped around the vacuum brush, bristles, you know. So we're constantly leaving our DNA everywhere we go. And, you know, that's the problem also, that, you know, a lot of people rely on us having DNA, and not all the time is that DNA something that can produce, you know, all that touch can produce DNA. So, you know, everybody wants it and expects it in criminal cases. This one, it worked out because this, from my understanding, it was DNA that solved this case and brought this man to justice. But it's hard to believe that he's so brazen. But I guess after getting away with it for 30-something years, you kind of get comfortable in your new life and your new name. And, you know, this guy was going to county meetings and was on the water board and, you know, doing stuff to probably keep their taxes down and improve their community, you know. Meanwhile, he did this horrible thing to another woman, and her family's never been able to overcome or recover from that. They've always had that loss, that missing, that never knowing. How many family members have they had to bury that wanted to know what happened to their family member that was killed? You know, they never got to see justice before they themselves were laid to rest. So this is really just a sad case, but wow, what an amazing ending. Finally, I pray to God. See, but here's something that I want to caution everybody with. This man is now going to be charged with the crime, okay? He's going to be charged based on 1984 law, or whatever law was, you know, at the time he committed this crime. So his crime may not hold as much time, or, you know, have the same sentencing factors that we have today. So if the crime he committed, he may only get 10 years, folks, because that may be back in 1984 may have been what that crime provided. We don't know. So I just want to caution my audience that he is not going to be charged with today's laws and standards because he committed the crime back in the 80s. So he's going to be charged based on laws from the 80s, not today. Happy 4th to you too. And for those that are just visiting, this is truly the Independent Day, right? This is truly the Declaration, you know, the independence. You know, this is July 4th is 2 days after the actual signing that provided us our Declaration of Independence. And it was the Lee Resolution. The Lee Resolution was signed on July 2nd, 1776, 2 days before the adoption of the Declaration of Independence. It's what adopted the Declaration. So just a little history for our history bunks. And I'm trying to go through these because I wanted to get myself be in and out within an hour. And I think, this is a buyer beware. This is something everybody in my audience needs to know about. This sounds pretty huge. And we have a data breach. We have a data breach. And it's the federal health officials have been notified. It is the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services. This is huge. You got to remember the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services has all of our data, all of our medical data, all of the stuff that we did through COVID, everything. Somebody has breached that. And so, and not just that, this holds, we have HIPAA laws, right? But our information is still stuck somewhere. And somebody is managing that information, and that's our U.S. Department of Health and Human Services. And there has been a major data breach. A major data breach. So, and they're using file transferred software. So who knows how much of our data, it may just be internal to to just the U.S. Department of Health, but I don't believe that be the case. I don't believe that be the case. Thank you, Carla. God bless you. And again, thank you, Miss Margaret. God bless you as well. And that data breach is widespread. Oh, here is this one. I wanted to give you guys an update on this one. You guys remember the Utah mom that ended up killing her husband and then wrote the children's book related about the grieving and stuff like that. Well, she's now being sued over that book for $13 million. It says basically the accused children's book, Coping with Grief After Her Husband, now stands accused of fatally poisoning him. Was filed Tuesday seeking $13 million in damages for alleged financial wrongdoing before and after his death. So his estate is trying to sue her from proceeds from that book. So at any rate, I just thought that was interesting, and I knew that you guys would want to do it. And this is the last bombshell breaking information, and this you can't make this stuff up. So there's a lawyer that is out there. He's from what I hear, a pretty decent lawyer, and his DNA has been linked to multiple SA attacks, multiple from way many years ago. Serial SAer, serial RR, RR. And this is in Boston. A New Jersey lawyer recently charged with SA 4 women in Boston 15 years ago attacks was linked by his DNA after he left a drinking glass, has indicated on suspicion of 5 additional attacks at the same time period. So this was way back, 20 some years ago, just a little shy of 20 years ago, 18 years ago or so. And you're talking about a serial RR. He's got at least 10 or 12 victims in his wake. So I just wanted to let you know that we're probably going to be diving into this and getting some more information. And this is the guy right here that is accused. This is the attorney. And he has he's not an ugly guy. He seems very smart. But another Brian Koberger, right? Just another Brian Koberger, different type. Like, he didn't kill his victims, the least that we know of as of yet. But definitely kind of Brian Koberger vibes with this guy. Seriously. That's what I get from him. Like Brian Koberger vibes. So anyways, guys, that was it. We did it all under an hour. I did amazing. Yay. I didn't know how I was going to do that and if I was going to truly make it. But I figured if we went over an hour, it was okay. I was going to talk about, trying to possibly put some, put the phones up and stuff like that. But to be honest with you, it's Sunday. And I just want to thank the audience that came over to church, and we got to spend church time at church. What a great, beautiful message it was today. I really enjoy going there. The music just really speaks to me. The messaging always seems to speak to me. I enjoy spending my Sunday with my coffee club family. So seeing friendly faces over at church is just amazing. It's wonderful. If you guys haven't had an opportunity to participate with us on Sunday, we go to church at Countryside every morning. It's an online church, and we worship together. So I hope if you haven't been to church in a while, or maybe you just want to join with friendly people that you know, come join us on Sunday at 9:20. We get together and we just have an amazing time. And I hope for you to come and join us for that Sunday. So anyways, guys, have a great Sunday. God bless you. We will be back here tomorrow. I'll give you guys a sneak peek. I've been working super, super hard. Super duper hard. Is it going to let me do it? No, it's not going to let me do that way. Hold on. Let me find it. I really like this this thumbnail. I've been really working hard on my I've been finding working on these thumbnails being therapeutic. I have to be honest with you. It's been really therapeutic for me, right? It's been really therapeutic. But if you guys want to know what we are discussing tomorrow morning on the Coffee Club, there you go, right? The lack of victims' DNA. We're going to be going over, again, I was going to do a video about this, and I'm like, by the time I get all this stuff and I put it all together and I put it into a video format, I could do a live and hang out with my people. So thumbnail, that is it. We're going to be talking about the lack of victims' DNA in this case. We're going to talk about it tomorrow morning. So if you guys haven't subbed up to the Bullhorn Betty channel, please be sure to sub up. We are keeping up with the latest and greatest related to all your Brian Koberger content. And we want you here. We have a cute little family. Oh, I'm having some technical issues. There we go. I was having some technical issues. I'm still having a little bit of technical issues. That's okay. So anyways, just wanted to tell you guys, thanks for being here. God bless each and every one of you. Go have a wonderful, wonderful Sunday. And don't forget to be fearless. Oh, thank you, Miss Margaret. Yes, thank you. I've been working really hard. Like I said, I used to throw them together, and now I'm finding it almost therapeutic to do projects like that, and now it's not even taking me that long to get you guys a nice, beautiful thumbnail, just a little creativity. You should look at them because they're almost artwork. You got to look at the thumb. I put little stuff behind the scenes. I don't know if you guys noticed that, but you need to look because there's always kind of a lot of stuff that says a story all behind the scenes. It's like my little artwork. So anyways, I've been enjoying it and loving it and stuff like that. So I hope you do too. Anyways, we'll see you first thing tomorrow morning here on the Bullhorn Betty channel for the Coffee Club. Until next time, please be kind to one another. God bless.
As you wake up in the morning, you want to find the latest, greatest information about criminal cases and have an intuitive conversation about the suspects associated with these cases. Head over to the Bullhorn Betty channel on YouTube. Get breaking news right here on the Bullhorn Betty channel. Welcome to the Bullhorn Betty Coffee Club. Enjoy your stay and enjoy your day.